you're new into image generation and you would love to learn more about Midjourney, this will be a very quick and easy tutorial to onboard you into Midjourney, how to use it, how to prompt, some tips and tricks, and basically how to understand the platform to get the best results possible for yourself. So we're going to open up midjourney.com. I'm using the Arc browser here, and basically this is the interface, right? So in the past, you've probably used, or people have used, Discord. Now it's all web-based. You can also use Discord as well. However, I would use the web app because it's really good. So if you use midjourney.com, there's even a free tier. You can use that. This is the platform, right? So here you have your box where you prompt what you want for an image. You've got this section where you can upload your own custom images, either for references, which is a new feature, really cool. We're going to have a look at that, or for style references, or for references for the image as itself, for elements, etc. So that's one section. Then the other section here is settings. So here you have the aspect ratio of the photo. This is really good. Like, what one of the stronger things about Midjourney is compared to ChatGPT or Imagen, Google Imagen, etc., is that you can play with the aspect ratio and you can play with a lot of details that you can't really do in other softwares, right? So you can have very custom aspect ratios. We're going to have a look how to do that. You can play with stylization. This basically means how much stylized you want the image to be. I'll reset this to 100. Weirdness. So basically, this allows the image to be weird. And then you have variety, right? So variety is how different images you want in the batch that you're creating. Whenever you're creating images, you can see here, you're always creating in pairs of 4. Only rarely you go for one image, and that's usually when you're upscaling or when you're doing an edit to the image yourself. Back to the settings tab, you also have mode. Most people do standard. If you want a more photographic style, you go for raw. And then you also have the version, right? So the latest version that we have right now is V7. Then you can go to previous versions if you've preferred a specific style or you had a specific prompt that worked really well with that version. You can use that very, very easily. Awesome. Then you have speed, and this is basically based on the tier that you have. You can go for relax, and when you have relax, it basically takes longer, but you can do unlimited generations of those. Fast, it takes credits. Turbo, it takes twice as much credits. So that's the basic setting. Then you have something called personalization. So with personalization, if we turn it on by clicking this or by clicking this, you go through a series of 200 images, I think, and you rate them that you like a specific style, etc. And it learns more about you, what you like, what you prefer, what you don't prefer, etc. You have draft mode, conversational mode, which is really cool. So you can like talk and design images at the same time. So there's a lot of hidden features in Midjourney, right? So not only that you have these settings, but you have an entire encyclopedia of prompts that can basically alter the image that you're going to have. So there's different called parameters, right? So if we go for Midjourney parameters, there is a parameter list. Midjourney has really nice docs that you can use. And here you have everything that there is, right? So basically, as you go more advanced in Midjourney and as you generate more images and you want to explore more settings, you're going to come back to this cheat sheet more and more. I'll show you some of the basic stuff that I use every day when I'm generating stuff in Midjourney. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look. You can see that I'm doing various styles, either for videos, for architecture, for graphic design, banners, background images, web images. There's so much variety that you can do with Midjourney. You can even create textures for your 3D scenes with a function called tile. And what's like a really cool feature nowadays is that it even supports omnireference. So you can put your face there and it can generate an image with your face. We're going to have a look at that as well. There's so much stuff to learn in Midjourney, and we're not going to be able to go through everything here in this video. However, I think we're going to go through the majority of the stuff, and we're going to have a look at how to create some epic stuff. Let's go here to the generation tab and let's write a prompt. So how I usually like to write prompts is that I start with the shot. What kind of shot do I want to create? Is it a drone shot? Is it a POV shot? Is it a selfie? Is it a camera shot? Is it a telephoto lens? What is it? What kind of shot is it. Here we can do a selfie shot, and now we have the subject or what we want in the scene, right? And then usually what kind of action are they doing, right? So this is a very basic prompt that we have right here, that we have a group of hippies resting on a hill playing music with their guitars and having a fun time. So that basically is the majority of the prompt, and now we're going to go more into the specifics, like what's the weather like, what's the view like, what are the colors like, what are they actually doing, are they just chilling, are they drinking beer, how many people are there, etc. right? So we can go more into detail. However, what's a good practice in general for Midjourney is not to go super duper deep, because then it won't understand what you're after. We're going to have this. Also, what really works well is also giving it references to movies or certain artists that you want to take inspiration from. Here I'm going to use the movie Hair. So now we've got our basic prompt. We're going to hit settings. We're going to stylize a little bit just to get more punch out of it. We want to have a little bit of variety in the imagery that we create. I'm going to create this 4:3 aspect ratio just because it really fits that style of that era. And then I'm going to go with the standard profile, and I'm not going to personalize it. I'm going to let Midjourney use what it can. So I'll hit generate here, and now we're going to hop onto the top, and it's going to generate a couple of photos for us. So not only that we can create photos, we can also create animations or image generations, etc. So let's go for a Lego animated movie style. So what I'll do is that I'll hop onto Google and search for Lego movie and search for a screenshot of Lego movie that I want to replicate, right? I'll save this image to my downloads folder. I'll go back to Midjourney, and what I'll do is that I'll add a style reference, right? So I'll upload an image here, and then I'll put this over here, and basically what I will tell it, cinematic wide shot of a Lego movie hero shot on Bilbo Baggins, Sauron and his army attacking. Okay, so now I've got my prompt. What I'll also do is get the specific reference for Bilbo Baggins Lego character. So I'll get this bad boy. So this will be our character, and we're going to use him in Midjourney, right? So we're going to upload this image, put it over here, and then we can also set the strength, right? So I'll put it up to 350. If we put it all to 1000, it's basically going to copy the exact image, but I want to give it some room, some wiggle room to do some cool stuff. So we're going to use that, and then I'm going to make it 2:1 to make it more into a filmic aspect ratio. And then with the style reference, what we can do is use this code sref. So if we look it up here, style reference, we can open up this, and it's going to tell us how the style reference works. So if we attach an image, right, and we put it into the style reference, we can attach what kind of strength we want it to have, right? So by default, it's 100. I'll put it to 250, and I think that should be really good. So we're going to let it run and see how it comes up. I'm super excited, and it's going to be wild to see. So here we're going to have a look at the Midjourney images that we've got. This is kind of good, fits well. It's on a hill, very colorful t-shirts and stuff that they're wearing. This is probably what we were after. We wanted a selfie shot. This is a selfie shot, looks really good. This is also kind of a selfie shot, very weird, very stylized. And this is like from the movie Hair. So I think this is the best image. And then what's really cool about it is that we can click this, and then what we can also do is we can pan it. So if we need it to have more space in either direction, we can click it. It's going to generate for us. We can upscale it, and that's basically going to add more detail to the photo, and it's going to expand the photo. Then we've got the vary section, and this basically creates alternative versions of the image, right? So it takes this as the base, and then it creates images similar to this. And then we can also rerun it to make different images, and then we can use it for the image style or reference to create other stuff. So for example, I'm going to create upscale, and I'm going to go for the creative just so it adds a little bit more detail, and I think it's going to be super duper cool. And now we have our Bilbo Baggins here. This is going to be insane. Very excited. It looks a little bit low resolution, not gonna lie. I think it's because of the image that we've given it. However, the style is almost there. The characters are pretty good, especially the ones in the background. I feel we can see Bilbo Baggins here, and this is something that you have to be very wary about. Midjourney is not the most high quality image generator out there. There are image generations that do higher quality like Mystic or Imagen 4. So if you want to do better stuff, then I would suggest using a different generator. Or what you can also do is we can use this again, and then we can also add a quality factor to it, right? So if we do Q, right, if we go to this and we search for Q, and basically we can add a higher quality to the scene. So we add to that to make it more quality, higher quality. So here I'm going to use Q4 just to get the best quality that Midjourney offers, and then I will also tell it to make the entire scene out of Lego, because I'm not a fan of the grass being normal grass, but I think we should make it a Lego shot. So we're going to have this run again and see what it's going to look like. So now we've got the upscaled version here. We can see that straight away it's a much bigger image. We can see that we have much more detail in the hair, in the clothes, and we can see that right over here the eyes aren't as good, but it's a much more higher quality version, and we can use that straight away. So now we're getting a little bit better results. The quality is going to be higher. I'm very excited to see the output. Okay, this looks pretty low quality again. This looks pretty good. We can also see here that we have some text. We can also add a parameter called no text, so that's also something that we can do. And yeah, I think these are pretty good, especially for the start. And then we're also going to have a look at some other stuff in Midjourney. So for example, we have personalize. What you can do is you can create a mood board, and you can add various styles to the mood board, and basically based off of that, it's going to create images similar to that style, right? So if you're a fan, or you're doing, project that requires certain colors or themes and so on, you can create a mood board and have all the images the same and recreate images based off of that. So that's how you can work with that. And basically I have it turned off now, but what you can do is put it on. You can use the profile, and I can put a skyscraper in futuristic Manhattan city, right? And I can put it into 3x4. Then what I'll do as well is I'll use this, but without the personalization, without the profile. I have to turn off weird here. So now we're going to create with the mood board that I have, and we're going to compare these two prompts, these two images, and we can see the difference based off of what I've given it and what Midjourney does on its own. So over here, we can see this is the standard style. We've got it stylized a lot. We've got some weirdness added, some chaos added. So that's why it looks a little bit outside of the box. Maybe if we do it again without any of these shenanigans, we're going to get a much better style. But basically over here, we can see that the skyscrapers look very much similar to the personalization, to the storyboard, to the mood board that I had there. This is the power of you having your own mood board, having your own style, and experimenting with that. Then also what's really cool is if you go to X, if you go to Twitter and you search for sref, this is one of my favorite things to do when I have some free time. You can search for various codes, and these codes are used to create distinct styles. So if I copy this style and we go back, we do this again, you can use this. We're going to get all that out and do sref that. You're going to see that we're going to get a very, very different Lego movie style, right? So this is what Midjourney would do on its own. And then you can see this is the style that I've given him access to through the mood board. And now we're going to get this playful cool style, this kind of cartoony style for the Lego movie, and I think it's going to be super duper fun, right? You can see the colors being represented there. We've also attached the image for style reference as well, so that's going to fight with it a little bit, but I think it's going to be very good. So here we can see our characters looking really good and using that style. So that's in the personalization. You can create your own mood board. You just upload your own images that you like. Then you can organize stuff based off of collections, upscales, etc. And then you have like a chat feature where you can like see what people are generating at the moment, and you can get inspired by whatever they're up to. So this has been Midjourney in a very short way, just going through all the raw stuff, all the functions. What you really want to play with is the cheat sheet. I'll leave a link down below so you can dive deep into that. Midjourney is pretty cool, works well. It's not the best generator out there, but you have ultimate control compared to ChatGPT, Imagen 4, etc. to create stuff with references, to create your own style, etc. and it works superbly. So I would definitely use that, and then always use an upscaler on top of it to get the superb image quality that you can. And yeah, if you're a fan of Gen AI, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happily serving you on this channel by updating you on the latest news and shenanigans that's happening in the Gen AI world.